You're now UFC flyweight champ. You're the first champ born in the 2000s. Has it sunk in yet, and how's life been for you since you won the title?
Man, life has been the same, man, ever since I got the belt. But now I get to travel. I get to be in Australia, enjoying the fights and everything. So, yeah, life is great.
What do you think of Australia so far?
I love it. I love it here, man. I love the people. I love the weather. I love it here.
What was it like bringing the belt back home the first time? So you brought it back home in Houston. What was it like bringing it back home to your mum, to your family?
Man, it meant everything to me. Like when I hand my mom the belt in that cage, and bring it back to Houston, it just means so much. You know what I mean? The first ever champion from Houston, Texas. And the first ever from Myanmar is crazy. So now it just means I got to work a lot more harder than usual.
Have you been back to Myanmar since you won?
No, hopefully I can go back soon.
What's that going to be like? Parade?
Yeah, I mean they did do a parade for me here, since I can't go back to the Myanmar and things like that. So they did a parade, like a prayer and a celebration for me at Indiana.
Yeah, nice. Back to winning the belt, I heard that you signed like the cards with champion. What did you write on it? Champion by 2026 on there?
Yes, I predict that. You know what I mean? The first card that they sent me was a one-of-one card, and I said champ by 2026.
Yeah. So that was like, manifesting's big for you. How important is manifesting for you? And did you do anything else like that before becoming champion?
Yes. Ever since I first took my first loss in the local scene, I started writing down everything. You know what I mean? So I started predicting things like since 2022. I wrote it down. I said I was going to be in the UFC by next year. And
how many fights in was that?
That was like my second fight.
In your second fight, you were saying?
Yeah, I lost my. Was it my third fight or my second fight? I lost, and then my second fight I lost, and after that I just started writing, and then I said 2023 I'm gonna be in the UFC, and then boom, they called me, and then we just started manifesting from there.
Did that second loss like light a fire in you? Yes,
man. A loss, it's like it humble you in a way, you know what I mean? So sometimes when you're young, like you get a lot of big hair, you know what I mean? Like they give you the best in the world and things like that. So it humbled me a lot.
When you with the manifest, like Conor McGregor made manifesting sort of famous. Did you just come up with it on your own, or did you see it? Did you read books or?
Nah, I just like to visualize everything, you know what I mean? Like I told my teammates and everything that what I was gonna do and things like that, and I like to prove them right, you know what I mean? So because they believe in me so much, and they like a great teammates, and we like brothers, in the gyms. I mean, you saw us on Vegas and things like that, you know what I mean? So it's like a brother love things, you know what I mean? So I want to prove them right every time I fight. So I like to tell them what I'm gonna do before I fight and things like that. Yeah.
So take us back to the start of the journey. It wasn't that long ago. When did you first step foot in the gym and start to train?
First start training 2018 or 19, but then it wasn't like you know what I mean, like a training. And then I ran into this guy named Scotty Worst. And I went to his gym 2020. That's when I was on fight, you know what I mean? So I started training in 2020.
Boxing?
No, straight MMA.
Straight MMA.
Yes.
Did you watch UFC before? Do you know much about it?
No, I saw Conor McGregor versus Floyd Mayweather when they was going back and forward.
So you came on the Conor McGregor chain well in. You missed the Eddie Alvarez fight, the Aldo fight.
I missed all that, bro. I had to go back. I was like, who's this crazy white guy that be talking crazy? And I had to go back and watch all the videos, and I was like, that's what I want to do. Yeah. And that's when I decided I want to do MMA.
So Conor McGregor was like your initial inspiration, you could say.
Yes, he's the one that got me to the game, yes.
Shit. When did you move to Houston from Myanmar? How old were you?
I was 12. I got here 2013. Yeah. I mean, I got to the Houston, Texas.
I want to ask you, how did you get so good in such a short amount of time? Did you work? Did you dedicate your whole life to training?
Well, when I first got here, I don't speak English and things like that, so I got picked on, you know.
Yeah.
And I'm a smaller size, so you know what I mean. You do get picked on and things like that. So I wasn't gonna let that slide, you know. So I always fight back and things like that. And I like to watch like Street Fight, War Star, and all that fight. And like I actually try it outside. Like I see some hooks or something, and I was like, all right, let me go try something.
Like at school or in the street?
At school or in the street, like whatever I see on YouTube's or whatever, I want to go try it out. And that's how, you know what I mean. That's how I was back in, like before I was training.
Yeah.
And then after I trained, like I just stopped fighting in general, outside of the cage.
What's your street record?
I never lost. Well, I took one loss because I fought this dude, man. He was like, what? He was like 6 foot something, man. He's tall. We was fighting like in the street fight, you know, like 5 minutes. Like there's actually a video. I was beating the shit out of him. His face was like all bloody. He kept saying, come on. And I was just like tired of beating him. And I was like, all right, hold up. Threw up. And I said, hey, brother, you win. Shake his hand. We call it quit.
Is this video, is this around? Do you have the video?
I got the first part. I think the second part, somebody got it, but they sent like a short, like the first minute of it. But yeah.
That's all you need. You don't need to show the end of it.
Yeah, but I was like, I threw up. Like while we was fighting, I was like, hold up. He threw up, shake his hand. I said, you win. He was just like, I want to actually try it. Like, if you look at me a certain way, then I was like, I want to fight him, like type shit, you know what I mean? So, yeah.
What moment did you set the goal of being in the UFC, but was that after your second fight? After that loss?
The goal I said was, I think, was in my second amateur fight. The Fury Fighting Championship has like a deal with UFC Fight Pass, and that was like a big thing. And one of our teammate, Jacob Silva, he was actually fighting for Contender Series, and then that's what opened my eyes. I was like, oh shit, we can actually go to UFC, you know? I never thought like we could go to UFC and things like that. So that was like a big opening eyes for me.
So you've never worked a real job. You've only been.
No. I actually worked a job like all my amateur career.
Okay. What were you doing?
My first pro, and my mom was like, hey, if you are so close, quit your job. I got you.
I was gonna say, what did your mum and your family think when you told them your dream? They were supportive.
When I first tell her I was gonna train, I was in Iowa, and you know I kept getting in trouble, so I was like, I'm gonna go back and start training. And then I went back to Houston, and when I told my mom I was gonna train, she didn't let me, and I had to wait for like a year. And you know, a lot of shit happened. You know, I dropped out of school and things like that. And then she still didn't let me go to the gym. So I like, you know what? Let me search closest gym by my house, and I go by myself. And then when it's time to pay, I got no money. And I was like, hey, Mom, you gotta pay. So she paid for a whole year, and she saw like how my life changed. Like how I don't really go outside no more. Like I was just, cause I was getting my ass beat for like 3 months straight. Like, you know, it's because I got that street mentality and things like that. And, you know, the coaches and things, they don't like that, you know what I mean? So they kind of like put it on me and stuff like that. So I was just trying to get better. And I don't really go outside, get in trouble and things like that. So my mom liked that.
2016 is going viral at the moment. You know, a lot of people are posting throwback photos. What were you doing in 2016?
Sagging, pistol on my waist, Timberland, and you was holding Henny bottle, Black Miles on my things, and you know, yeah, that was me.
It's like lucky you found MMA in a way. Were you like going down two different paths, like you had a choice?
Nah, I think, you know, I feel like God, like I believe in destiny. You know what I mean? I feel like God made a plan for us, and for us to like decide where we want to go. You know what I mean? I feel like God already made a plan for me, and I just found.
So you're looking forward. Tyra and Manel Cap are two potential opponents for your first defense if Pantoja can't be ready in time. You called Manel Titty Boy yesterday. Which of the two would you prefer to fight?
Either one of them. I want to fight them both at the same night, you know, if I can. Well, Pantoja deserved the rematch. He should be immediate rematch, but it's going to depend on how quick he recover. If not, Manel and Tyra can get it at the same night. You know what I mean? I don't pick and choose, and whenever the Titty Boys found his balls and ready to fight, I'll be ready.
I mentioned 2016, so that was 10 years ago. In another 10 years, what year would mean more to you in a decade? 2025 or 2026?
2026 will be, will be a lot better than 2025. But I would say 2023 was something special for sure. That's because, I was supposed to fight on Contender Series, and something was. No, I was supposed to fight on Road to UFC. And I always pray, about like going to the UFC and stuff like that. So I was like, oh shit, let me do this. And then something about my passport, it didn't go through, and I can't travel, so they canceled that one. So
Was it in China?
yes, I can go to China, and I was like, man, fuck this, man. I was like, God, why the fuck you do this shit to me, right? And then they called me for Contender Series, and then I was like, yeah, but that's all the way in August. And then we was at like what, February or something, March. And then I didn't want to train. I was like, you know what it is. And then boom, 3 days notice, UFC. And that's when I realized God did answer my prayer. Cause you know what I mean? Like, had I go to Road to UFC, that would be like another year until I make it to the actual UFC. You know what I mean? So I feel like everything happened for a reason, man. That's what opened my eyes to see like God actually really answer my prayers and things like that.
Yeah, 100%. What's been your favorite fight in the UFC so far?
The Chair's fight, and then Royval fight.
That's
Yes.
your favorite.
The Chair's fight is my favorite because the way that he threw that spinning elbow, and I don't remember I got hit, bro. I didn't even think I got hit. And I went to the back, and my coach was like, does it hurt? I was like, I don't even get touched, bro. And then I rewatched the replay.
Oh, you didn't even know you got hit?
I didn't even know because, like, I was hurting him. I thought I was going to knock him out. And next thing you know, we was on the floor. And I was like, shit, thank God, bro. And that's what made me realize, like, I was a dog. I was winning, and so that fight is one of my favorite.
Flyweight's always been one of the most technical and fastest divisions in the UFC. Demetrius Johnson, Pantoja, always long-serving great champions.
Mm-hmm.
What do you believe separates Joshua Van from every other contender in the weight class?
Joshua Van is different because I'm just something special, man. I look good. I fight. Nah, man. You know what I'm saying? I just do my thing, man. I'm not like, I just stay basic. You know what I mean? And I think that's what made me special. And you guys
Staying
will see,
true to
like,
yourself, right?
Yeah, stay true to myself. You know what I mean? And you guys will see this year, 2026. You guys will know why I am special.
Last one. We always ask every fighter this because Engage's tagline is "We are all fighters." What do you fight for? And has it changed over the years?
What do I fight for? I fight for my country, my mom, my family. You know what I mean? To give them a better life. And yeah, so it is.